Welcome you all. In this lesson, we will learn computer fundamentals, means how we can define the computer system, what are the components of the computer system, what are hardware and softwares, what kind of memories computer use, and what are the measuring units of the memory. So we are almost familiar about the computer system. Computers have become now an integral part of our routine life. Almost in every field of the life, computers are nowadays used in education, healthcare, business, entertainment, communication, medicine, and almost in every field of life computer is used today. Nowadays the computer becomes so much powerful that it can process billions of instructions per second and it can store a huge amount of information. So let's start. What is computer? A computer is an electronic data processing machine which accepts the data in its raw form along with the instructions. It means that the computer accepts the and gives the raw information through the input devices, process that raw information as per the user's instruction, produce the meaningful information and send it to the output devices. So there are two important things we have to notice: what is data and what is information. So data is nothing but the raw information processed by the computer as per the user instruction. Whatever the information accepted by the computer, that is nothing but the data. Which is not useful raw information, computer perform some operations on that data, process it and generate some meaningful information. It means that the output produced by the computer or the processed data is nothing but the information. So data means raw information which user gives the computer for processing, and after processing whatever the output computer generate or produce, that is called information. Our computer system consists of the two components. First one is hardware and another is software. Hardware are the physical components of the computer system that we can see or touch. And remember that software we cannot see and touch. There are many high-level programming languages in computer. When the instructions or commands in that high-level programming languages, when we arrange in a proper order, when we place in a proper order to perform a particular task, it is called program. And the set of such programs are called software. Can you identify some hardware devices? Keyboard, microphone, mouse, pen drive, floppy disk, hard disk, scanner, CPU cabinet, webcam, CD or DVD, monitor, printer, flash memory, headphone, speaker, CPU, and so on. Now let's see what are the software. A set of instructions which are used the computer system to perform the particular task is called a program. And what are software? The software are nothing but the set of such programs. Can you tell some examples of the software? Linux, Windows, Mac, OpenOffice Writer, OpenOffice Impress, OpenOffice Calci. All such kind of so many application softwares are examples. Hardware devices can be input devices, output devices, processing devices, and storage devices. Let's say first about input devices. Those hardware devices which are connected with the computer to give the data and instructions as an input to the computer is called input devices. For example, keyboard, mouse, microphone, scanner. All these devices which are used to give the data and instructions to the computer as an input, these devices are input devices. Now second one is output devices. Those devices which are connected to the computer system to give the output of the information produced by the computer are called output devices. For example, monitor, printer, speaker, plotter. These kind of devices are used to see the output generated by the computer system. So all these are the output devices. Now third kind of hardware devices are processing devices. These processing devices are mainly used to process the data entered by the user. It means that these hardware devices are used to do certain specific operation on the data as per the instructions given by the user. In computer, CPU called Central Processing Unit is one of the hardware device which is used to process the data. Therefore, it is also called brain of the computer. It is most important part of the computer system. CPU consists of three main units. First one is memory, second one is CU, that is called control unit, and third one is ALU, that is called arithmetic and logic unit. The memory unit of the CPU is also known as primary or internal memory of the computer, and it is used to store raw data, instructions and processed information, means result produced by the computer. CU, that is control unit, it is main unit of the CPU because it controls the flow of data and information between the CPU and other parts of the computer, and that's why it is also called central nervous system of the computer, just like similar to the heart of our body. And third main unit of the CPU is ALU, it is called arithmetic and logical unit. So this unit performs all kind of arithmetic like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, as well as many logical operations on the user inputted raw data. Fourth kind of hardware devices are storage devices. The storage devices are used for storing the information permanently for the later use. For example, hard disk, CD, it is called compact disc, DVD, it is called digital versatile disc, pen drive or flash drive, memory card, Blu-ray disc, all such kind of devices are storage devices. Let's say about the another major components of the computer system, that is software. The software can be of the two types, system software and application software. The system software are mainly three types: operating system software, device drivers and utility software. Some examples of the operating systems are like Windows, Linux, Ubuntu, Mac, Apple and Android operating system. There are some device drivers also, for example, to run the graphics on the monitor, graphics drivers are required, and audio drivers are required, video drivers are required, right? Utility softwares like antivirus, these are very small softwares. Similarly, there are many more types of application software based on their specific requirement they are designed. For example, word processing application softwares like MS Word, OpenOffice Writer, WordStar, Notepad, etc. Some spreadsheet application softwares are there like MS Excel, OpenOffice Calc, Lotus 123. There are some presentation application softwares like MS PowerPoint, OpenOffice Impress, etc. Multimedia application softwares like VLC Player, Media Player, GOM Player. There are many graphics application software like Photoshop, CorelDRAW, GIMP, and database application softwares also MS Access, MySQL, Oracle, etc. And like that, there are so application softwares. Let's see some little information about the system software. System software is a set of the program that controls the working of the computer system. As we know that computer is a machine and we are a human being, our language computer does not understand, and computer understand only machine language that human beings not understand. So there should be the proper interface between the computer and the user. So this interface our operating system, means system software, provides. The system software can be three main types: operating system, device drivers and utility softwares. There are many factors based on which we can classify the operating systems. Mainly we can classify the operating system as character user interface and graphical user interface operating system. In character user interface operating system, the user need to enter the commands to instruct the computer, and therefore they need to remember that commands also. Therefore, these type of operating systems are little difficult to learn and use. For example, DOS operating system, disk operating system. This operating was used till 1995. In 1995, Windows operating system was launched by the Microsoft, which was graphical user interface based operating system. In graphical user interface operating systems like Windows, user can interact with the computer through some graphical elements like buttons, icons and menus. Therefore, there no need to remember any commands, and therefore these kind of operating systems are very easy to learn and use. Apart from the Windows operating system, there are Ubuntu, Mac, Apple, and many more operating systems are nowadays graphical user interface based operating system because they are very easy to learn and use. Application software. Application softwares are designed to perform a specific task. For example, Microsoft Word and OpenOffice Writer. Such kind of softwares are made to create the documents and store the information in that in well-defined format. Microsoft Excel and OpenOffice Calc, such kind of application softwares are specially designed to perform the arithmetic calculations on the numeric data and present them in the tabular format, as well as creating the charts on that. Microsoft PowerPoint and OpenOffice Impress, these kind of application softwares are designed to create slideshow presentation for the meetings. Now, liveware is the term which was used in the computer industry as earlier as 1966. Liveware, this term was used for the computer users. Any kind of computer users who are using the computer, like programmers, operators, administrator, or simple computer operator, may also called as liveware. Now let's see what kind of memories are used in the computers. In computer, two kinds of memories are used. First one is primary or internal memory, and second one is secondary or external memory. Remember that primary memory of the computer CPU directly access. That's why these kind of memories are costlier also, and they are faster memory for the data read and write. Secondary or external memories are permanent in nature. It means that they can store the data permanently. CPU does not directly access the data from the secondary memories, and secondary memories are slower as compared to the primary or internal memory. Hard disk, CD, DVD, pen drive, memory card, Blu-ray disc, all are the examples of the secondary or external storage memory or external storage device. Primary or internal memory of the computers can be of the two types. First one is random access memory, and another is random access memory is called read-only memory. Read-only memory is called RAM and ROM. RAM is temporary memory. It is also called volatile memory because it can hold the data till up to it gets the power supply. Once its power supply is cut off, the data it contains will be lost. But ROM memory is called permanent, and that's why it can be called non-volatile memory, because either it gets the power supply or not, it does not affect on the stored data in it. The data stored in the ROM are permanently stored. The data stored in the random access memory can be read, can be erased, or we can modify it also. But the data stored in the read-only memory, we can read only, but we cannot write our data into read-only memory. So what type of data read-only memory already have? Bootstrap program, which is essential to boot our computer or start our computer, BIOS setting. This type of program already stored in read-only memory at the time of its manufacturing, and that's why this kind of data we cannot erase. We can read only, but we cannot write our own data in read-only memory. Again, speed of the RAM is quite high, and ROM is slower than the RAM. Random access memory is large and high capacity, but read-only memory is generally small and of low capacity. Let's say another type of memory that is called cache memory. Cache memory is high-speed temporary electronic memory. It is a smaller, faster memory located in your microprocessor. Microprocessor use this cache memory for storing the data and instructions which are frequently it requires. So the data and instructions which are required by the CPU for frequently access such kind of data and instruction, instead of keeping them into the slower storage devices like RAM, the CPU store it in the cache memory so that it can be accessed very fast. Memory representation, it is the last topic of this lesson. The information stored in the computer's memory are stored in the form of 0 and 1. It is called bits. Bits stands for binary digits. It is the smallest memory unit. It can hold one character information. So to store more data in the form of string, the computer requires combination of bits. So group of 4 bits is called nibble, and group of 8 bits is called byte. A word is a fixed size group of the bits that are handled together by the machine while processing. A word may be 8, 16, 32 or 48 bits long, depends on the hardware architecture of the. There are higher memory measuring units are also like kilobytes, megabyte, gigabyte, terabyte, petabyte, etc. 1 kilobyte means 1024 bytes. 1 megabyte means 1024 kilobyte, means 1024 into 1024 byte. 1 gigabyte means 1024 megabyte, means 1024 into 1024 megabyte, means 1024 into 1024 into 1024 kilobytes. So in this way the measuring units are vary.